Hello and welcome back to the Adrian Project. In 1984, the long-held question, are we alone in the universe, was finally answered. As spaceships from an alien world enter our atmosphere. Are they here as benevolent friends, or do they have ulterior motives? The world was about to find out in Kenneth Johnson's explosive TV series. Hello, many thanks for choosing to click on my thumbnail and watch my content, as always, very much appreciated. So today, plain talking review of the complete series, and as you see before me we have the DVD box set. So without further ado, there's 3 different DVDs to get through, so let's have a look at DVD number 1. They come in peace to enslave mankind. 50 spaceships, each 3 miles across, hover ominously above Earth's major cities. The visitors that emerge are human-like in appearance and extend the hand of friendship. Our planet's resources are just what these aliens need to survive. And for its future survival, unsuspecting humankind will need a miracle. So, complete series of V. Disc 1, just let's show you, you just get 1 disc inside of it. However, you do have 2 sides to the disc. It's like an old vinyl album that on this, you watch side 1, and then when that's done, you get your machine, you have to flip it over and watch side 2. So just be aware of that. So, V originally came out in 1983 in America. I think it was 1984 over here. I keep saying it's 1984. I think because we had it a few months after it had been released in the US. Of course, we'd already had Star Wars and Alien and Star Trek the Motion Picture on the big screen, and on the small screen we'd had Star Trek, Doctor Who, Space 1999 UFO. Was there going to be any interest at all in yet another science fiction based program? And yes, there was, because this was absolutely huge both in the US and here in the UK. Now you have to remember, at the time then, here in the UK we still only had 3 terrestrial channels. There was no satellite television, there was no computers, so something like this would be a major event. So getting back to the story, if you sit and watch this, you'll think Independence Day straight away. I think this is where the creators of Independence Day sort of stole the idea from, or I say stole in inverted commas, large ships over major cities, but whereas on V, they're 3 miles wide, on Independence Day they were 15 miles wide, so they just had to go a little bit bigger, didn't they? You also sit and watch this, and if you're a fan of 80s B movies and television, it's like a veritable who's who and the acting stakes. You'll be sat there going, oh, what's his name, what's her name, what was she in? Because the big star of the programme at the time was the Beastmaster himself, Mark Singer. So sort of an outline to the story, like I've just said. The visitors come, say they come in peace. Not long before we find out that is not the case, scientists start to go missing, want to know why, and Mark Singer, who plays Donovan, decides he's going to get on to the mothership and find out the real reason why they're here. And so I say, it's not long before he does discover they have an ulterior motive, and now he's got to set out and try and convince the rest of the planet they aren't who they think we think they are. They aren't who they say they are. The storyline, there are a lot of parallels between that and persecution of the Jewish people in Nazi Germany. That's an underlying theme. It's where the V sign comes from. And so, like I say, first episode is the setup. The visitors come in here. This is what we want. This is what we can offer you. Shows them integrating with people, trying to get along with everybody, and hopefully not being found out the real reasons. On episode 2, this is when Donovan has found out that they are here for more than what they want, and it's not a sharing of cultures and ideas. They came here for all our resources, including us, and it's up to him to try and convince the world of that. So like I say, the storyline's been done before, but this is at the time this was a new, refreshing way of doing it. As for the special effects, in 1984, these were jaw-dropping effects for a TV program. We'd never seen anything like it. Come forward today in 2021 with HD televisions and 5G, this, that and other, the special effects are going to look really, really ropey. But if you can switch your brain off and just take it for what it was, the original miniseries was absolutely awesome, jaw-dropping television. And of course, it's just one other person that I haven't mentioned here, that the newspapers went absolutely berserk. I can remember in 1984 for Jane Badler. She was the pin-up girl. She was all over the papers. I can remember the Sun doing a sort of centre page pull-out V special, and I think there's a poster of her in the middle. I can't remember. I seem to think there was, but along with Mark Singer, she was the standout star. The acting in it, for the most part, is very, very good. You expect science fiction to be a bit ropey. Some of the dialogue does feel a bit ropey today, but at the time, this was must-see viewing. And looking back today, just sitting back and watching it, nostalgia value brings it all back, and the story does actually stand up. So this is the first 2 episodes on this video, and it does finish on a bit of a cliffhanger. Now, back then when it came out, I don't think they were ready for releasing follow-on to it. I think they were just going to go see how these 2 episodes went before they were given any money to make any more, because it was a bit of an expensive show. But like I say, people went absolutely berserk for it, and they did get the funding for the next 2 installments of the miniseries, which takes us on to DVD 2 of V, The Final Battle. The struggle to save the world from alien domination continues in V, The Final Battle. The visitors continue manipulating world opinion, but some women are horrified to learn they are pregnant with alien babies. The rebels continue their mission to expose the aliens, and the first V for Victory rally call is heard. Donovan exchanges himself for his son's release, having been captured by the visitors' second-in-command, Diana. In the grisly creature conversion chamber, Diana tortures him with the truth serum injections in a desperate attempt to learn the identity of the rebels undermining her plans. But the rebels are dedicated to freeing the world from total domination. The future begins or ends here. So, DVD 2 of collection, V, The Final Battle. Now this one is a 2-disc version. You got one disc which is double-sided again, that's got episodes 3 and 4 on. This disc here has got the behind the scenes extras. Just a word about that, it's a bit naff, a bit boring. It's of its time, it's interesting for about 10 minutes, but it does seem to go on and on and on a bit. So it's up to you. Personally, I'd give that disc a miss. I won't be bothered about it, but you may be. But let's get back to the story in hand. So at the end of episode 2, I think it was, we got that cliffhanger that the character Robin finds out that she's pregnant. Moving on into episode 3, it's not long before she finds out that the father of the baby is a little lizard man. He's one of the aliens and he's not human like she thought. So she's in turmoil. Does she have the child or does she terminate? She decides that now she knows it's going to be an alien hybrid with humans. She doesn't want it, so they do try and abort the baby, but as they're trying, figures out that if they remove it, it will kill her. So she's got to go to term. Now, of course, all in the background there, Resistance is still trying to find out any weaknesses they can use against the visitors, at the same time as causing much hassle as they can. Going back to Robin, when she does have the baby, it's another one of the most talked about scenes on British television at the time. Like I say, you've got to remember this is back in the 80s. We only had 3 channels over here. We didn't have DVDs, and we didn't have YouTube where you can watch it and rewatch it. So when it happened, you know, that was the big talking point for the week, and the baby birth scene was definitely that one. If you've not seen it, I'm not going to give it away. Does look a little silly now because, like I say, it's of the time, but I'd say probably not one to watch if you're pregnant yourself. It'd probably give you nightmares. But like I say, the battle continues and they will be trying to find every weakness they can to stop the alien visitors. Now, like I say, I'm just going to do a little spoiler here because there's no other way of doing it. Sorry about that. So you may want to skip on a little bit. But Robin does end up, like I say, having the baby who grows up to be the Star Child. No, not that Star Child. This Star Child. Now, yeah, she's got these powers, just growing as much as she is growing. And in the finale, she does come into her own, but like I say, I'm not going to give it away. So, like I say, again, this series was made, I'm not sure if it was 1 or 2 years after the original 2, because the amount of money that was required to make the programme, I think the producers said, look, if it's a flop, we're not giving you any more money, but it was massive, so they got the go ahead with this. A hell of a lot of money was pumped into it. I think it was one of the most expensive TV programmes at the time of making, maybe wrong on that, but like I say, it was a hell of a lot of money pumped in. The effects were slightly better, the design was a hell of a lot better, but they still use a lot of stock film, shall we say. A lot of scenes that are repetitive. There's a little game there you can play. See how many times this flight sequence is used and how many times that alien falls off the top of that building. A little bit of a fun game that you can do there. And there's just one other thing that I've forgotten to mention as well. We do find out that within the alien mothership are a group of aliens who don't agree with the invasion at all. They call themselves the Fifth Columnists, and they are trying to help the resistance as much as they can. And one of those is a certain actor, Robert England. This was one of his first major television appearances. I think he may have been in a couple of things before this over in America, but it's the first time we'd seen him over here. He played Willie. I think everybody loved Willie. Who were Mrs. Not that way. Behave. And of course, from this, he went on to play Freddy Krueger. So there we go. That's episode 3 and 4 on there. It does have an ending, shall we say, a little reminiscent to Darth Vader's ending in the original Star Wars. When you watch that, you'll see what I mean, and you probably might guess from when we go in to the next segment, which is for DVD 3. They came for water and for food. As it turned out, we were the food, but humanity bravely resisted. Yet the war continues. Once again, Earth is the main battleground, but now the aliens, whose human guise hides their true reptilian natures, are wiser. They believe the secret to their survival on Earth lies in the DNA of the newly born, half-human, half-spaceling star child. They intend to capture her, but there's something the world's resistant fighters cannot allow. Okay, so this is DVD 3 of the complete collection. Right, this one, it's a bit of a bifter, and you get 5 discs with it because this has got 19 episodes. Of course, the first 4 episodes of V have been huge, so they decided to run with it and do a television series, complete television series out of it, like I say, and we got 19 episodes. Just when you thought, I say, it's a bit like Jaws, just when you thought it's safe to get back in the water, up comes the shark again. Same with this, just when you thought, Ray, we've won, we've got rid of them, then Diana comes back, and she's brought 1 or 2 friends with her as well. Say the least. So this has got, I think this has got more of a made-for-TV feel about it. One thing that does stick out, that in the first 4 episodes, the alien visitors' voices were sort of gruff, almost like there was something on the throat that was, you know, changing the language so we could understand what they were saying, something like that. On this series, done. You don't get that. They still look human, but they also talk human. They haven't got the vocal effect on that we got on the original miniseries, and that's one of the things I don't understand why. I don't understand that. But this series had more of a made-for-TV feel about it, like I say, than the first 4. The first 4 were almost like, this is a film, but we've cut it up into 4 segments, very much as how the original Star Wars was meant to be. That was supposed to have been, I think it was supposed to have been 4 half-hour episodes, but they made it into one long film. This is sort of a reverse effect where the original miniseries probably feels like it was made into a film, but chopped up into 4 bite-sized pieces for the television. This has got 19 45-minute episodes. Obviously, they'd have run for an hour because of advertising, adverts and whatever in the middle of all of those. The story's still there. It's still a great watch. All the main surviving protagonists are there. Of course, Donovan's there, Diana's there. Michael Ironside is one standout performer in this for me. He plays Ham, sort of like a mercenary for hire, and he just sneers and gurns his way through in his black leather jacket that he wore in Total Recall. If you've ever seen that film, I think it was sort of like actor and leather jacket for hire, but he was great in this. Some of the episodes a little bit cheesy, but the one thing I do have to say about them, none of the episodes feel padded out. You watch things like Star Trek: The Next Generation, and they have episodes where you sit there and you think, right, something's going to happen. Oh, something's going to happen. Yeah, this one. Get another 10 minutes. Something's going to happen, and it's just Jean-Luc Picard talking and talking and talking, and then he meets an alien, and it's either going to be a bloke with half a hundredweight of prosthetics on his face, or they just had to cut the money for the series or something. He's got a ridge on his nose, and they talk a bit, and then the episode ends, and you think, what a load of bunk that was. You don't get that with this. It's straight into the action. Every episode straight into the action. Nothing seems padded out. A couple of corny scenes that, you think, yeah. But like I say, this is 84, 80, I think it was 85. It's of its time, but it's fantastic viewing. Now, if you don't want to know how the final battle ended, give this bit a miss. Give it. I'll wave when I've done. So at the end of the final battle, we know that the red dust that the Resistance had sort of formulated had killed majority of the visitors, and all the others just escaped away in their spaceships. Okay, but as the time went on, because this comes on 2 years after the ending, well, it's supposed to be 2 years after the end of the final battle, when Diana comes back, it's sort of losing its potency, so they're going to have to find another way. So yeah, like I say, this is sort of like the end of the battle, the final battle, 2 years on, and human life is getting back to normal. But then, just like Darth Vader, Diana comes back, and she's brought a few mates with her as well. One of those actresses is June Chadwick as Lydia. Now, you'll be looking at that actress thinking, what have I seen you in before? Can't put my finger on it. Well, I've got 4 things to say to you. This is Spinal Tap. Yeah, that's where you've seen her. She comes into the series as Diana's commander, and those two bickering together. It's TV gold in itself. It's absolutely fantastic. Like I say, the episodes don't hang about. It's straight into the action. The Resistance think, right, here we go again. Got to find another way to get rid of this alien problem. And all along throughout the series, the Star Child is starting to grow at an unnatural rate, and she's also starting to deal with having to get used to these special powers that seem to come along the way with her as well. And she turns out to be one of the greatest weapons that the Resistance has. But like I say, it's 1980s fare. If you're a fan of 1980s sci-fi, you're going to love this. Like I say, there's no padding, no fluff on these episodes. It's straight in to the action. I say, standout performer for me is Michael Ironside, who just gurns and sneers his way through. Absolutely love him in this. Robert Englund's Willie does start to. Your Willie is grating. It isn't great. It does sort of get on your nerves a bit in this, but I'll say that's how the character was written. And again, the whole series, episode 19, is left on a bit of a cliffhanger, actually. I think they were hoping to get another another series out of this, but it was not to be, probably because people's interest was starting to wane. Some of the storylines in a couple of the later episodes are getting a bit silly. They did introduce another character, Charles, who had been sent along to bang Lydia and Diana's heads together, stop them bickering and get, you know, the human problem sorted out. So that was another problem for the Resistance. But like I say, it probably went on too long. If they'd have done another 4 episodes like they did with the miniseries, that probably have been a better bet. But I say, follow on never came. I think it had run its course, and we never got a continuation of V. Of course, we did get a remake in the early to mid 2000s, was it? Around there. I only watched about 2 or 3 episodes of that, and quite frankly, I think it's boring. It's all, you know, glamorous people, you know, 21st century style is, no, I just can't get into it. This, however, I can. So, there we go. That's V, the complete collection. All the 80s, all in one handy box. Yes, it is a bit dated. The storyline is still relevant. The storyline is still great. For the most part, 99% of the part, the acting is great. Some of the scenes do feel a little rushed sometimes. Today, of course, with multiple seasons, they could have expanded on the storylines a lot more than what they did. So there are a couple of episodes, especially in the complete series one, that do feel a little rushed. But if you love 1980s TV as much as we do, you're going to get a hell of a lot out of this. And of course, I'm going to give the complete box set 5 Evil Ednas. Well, I'm glad that video's over and done with. I can take this stupid human disguise off now. And that's the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed that one. Please remember, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to my channel. It'd be very much appreciated. And also, don't forget to ring that little notification bell. Also, if you've got Facebook, you can follow me at Adrian Bauer Project, and if you've got a Twitter account, you can follow me at Project Bauer. So, with all that in mind, I'd like to thank you all again for watching, and here's to seeing you all again on the next episode of the Adrian Bauer Project.